Shopify reported fiscal 2023 first quarter earnings results that sent the stock soaring over 20% following the announcements. So, what was in Shopify's announcements that sent the stock soaring? That's what I'm going to cover in this video, as well as answer if the increase was justified or if the market is just getting a little ahead of itself. So, let's begin. Shopify reported a revenue increase of 25% in the quarter to 1.5 billion. The operating loss worsened to 193 million. That was up from 98 million in the same quarter last year. Shopify announced it'll be cutting roughly 20% of its workforce to save costs. But the big news from this earnings result report, and the reason why I think the stock price is soaring, is because of the news that Shopify will divest from its logistics business, selling it to Flexport. Shopify will receive stock representing 13% equity interest in Flexport. This is the reason why I think Shopify stock price is soaring. The investment in logistics has proven to be very costly in terms of Shopify's profit margins. And from the reaction of the stock price, it looks like investors were happy that the company divested from this business. I've been talking about the reason why I've gone away from Shopify stock. I used to like Shopify stock, but recently have turned around and sold Shopify stock is because of its decision to invest in logistics. I was not a fan of it, and I've been saying that for months now on my channel that the investments in logistics were, in my opinion, not a good decision because it's very expensive. And if you compare with Amazon, Amazon is barely able to profit from its e-commerce segment because of how expensive it is to do shipping and handling. And for that reason, I wasn't a fan of Shopify trying to get into that business, spending billions of dollars trying to get into this low margin business. I wasn't a fan of that. And now that it's divesting from it, I like the move, and it looks like the market likes the move also, and that's why the stock is up over 20% following the announcement. Let me show you here Shopify's operating profit margin over the trailing 12 months, going all the way back to 2015. Look at how nicely Shopify's operating profit margin was increasing. It reached a peak of 12% in 2021 before the company made the decision to invest billions of dollars in this logistics project, right? That sent its profit margins crashing back down to negative 14.68%, eliminating all of the progress the company had made over the last 7 years in boosting its operating profits. Now, maybe after several years of building out that network, it would have been profitable, but it wasn't likely to generate an operating profit margin over 4 or 5% incrementally to the business because Amazon's fulfillment network is a headwind to the business. So there was no reasonable expectation to think that Shopify was going to be able to do better than Amazon was doing with this business, right? I mean Amazon's been in there for a couple of decades, got more experience, more capital, and so I wasn't expecting Shopify to do better in this business. And you could see as the operating profit margin fell, below here is I have the chart of Shopify's stock price falling from $150 all the way down to a low of around $40. And now today's news brought the stock price back up as a result of divesting from this business that caused its operating profit margins to crash. So, to answer the question, is the stock price jump over 20% justified? Is it a reasonable reaction from the market? And I would say yes. Yes, it is. The decision to remove this business is a great one, in my opinion. And I am now considering Shopify stock again now that it's not in this business. Now, I'm not going to say that it's a buy just yet. I want to evaluate the company over the next one and 2 quarters to see how the move progresses, if there's any lingering effects from the move, and if it actually all goes through before I will consider buying it. But now it's on my radar again. I will consider it again. Whereas before, when it had that logistic business, I took my hands off of it and I said I wouldn't touch this stock if it's choosing to be in that business. All right, so that's all I've got for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.